My children, in exactly 10 days on January 20th, 2026, something will begin. This is the statement that touches your heart tonight. And if this is true, then time ceases to be a luxury and becomes mercy. And if it is not, watching and praying will never harm your soul. But if it is true, beloved brothers and sisters, then we are on the brink of an announced threshold. The vast majority are not ready, and the question that echoes is whether you will be among the few who will remain standing spiritually by grace, by vigilance, and by obedience to God. For the Lord has already warned to watch, because the day will come like a thief in the night. Watch and pray to have the strength to escape all that is to come and to be able to stand before the Son of Man. I speak to you as a brother in faith, a humble messenger who trembles before the sacred, someone who merely transmits warnings from heaven for the discernment of the Church. Today is January 10th, 2026, and I say this clearly because clarity dispels confusion, and perhaps your eternity depends on. The time you dedicate to this message now is not because of who I am, but because the Lord is faithful and Our Lady never tires of calling her children back home. In recent days, the accounts have intensified. Testimonies affirm that Our Lady appeared in 7 places over 7 days, repeating the same warning, the 3 days of darkness. The details change, but the essence remains firm, and the tone is urgent. This does not stem from fear or human curiosity, but presents itself as a converging testimony of signs and visionaries. And if you are listening now, it is because divine providence has reached you, for the Good Shepherd continues to guide his sheep, and they recognize his voice. The moment has come to awaken from torpor, and here it is necessary to speak with reverence and lucidity. What is shared belongs to the realm of private revelations that God permits at certain times. The Church teaches that public revelation ended with the last apostle, and nothing new is necessary for salvation. Therefore, such revelations are not obligatory dogmas, but aids to living the gospel more deeply at certain moments in history. Always in obedience to the Holy Church, remain firm in the Scriptures, in tradition, and in the sacraments, and when in doubt seek a prudent priest or spiritual director. If your heart feels the weight of this hour, make a simple gesture of charity. Like this video, share it with someone you love, and write "Virgin Mary protects us." So be it, because small gestures can carry eternal consequences when they awaken a sleeping soul. In the coming moments, let us proceed with caution and prayer, reading the signs of the times with the mind of the Church and a sober heart, considering the dates mentioned, the preceding signs, what is said about each of the 3 days, the spiritual preparation, the prayers, Our Lady's special care for children, the prophecies that many claim are already being fulfilled, the way to persevere hour after hour, avoid fatal mistakes, and contemplate the promised era of peace and your role in it. With the Bible open, the rosary within reach, and your heart sheltered under Mary's mantle, let us begin to see with spiritual eyes. Our generation celebrates blasphemy as if freedom were what it was, it would transform sacrilege into spectacle, defend the death of the innocent as a right, tear apart the union between man and woman, impose dark ideologies on children before they can even understand the world. We call bitter sweet and sweet bitter. We exchange truth for noise. Homes fall apart. Altars are treated with disdain, and laughter arises where tears of repentance should be. This is the air we breathe, a modern Sodom illuminated by neon, and yet the sky has not been silent, for a burning word has pressed upon hearts, saying that the cup is almost overflowing. Mercy still pleads, but justice approaches, and the mother never abandons her children. She gathers them and teaches them to remain steadfast when the winds rise against the house. The calls to conversion echo, the memories of ancient apparitions return with sobriety. Silent signs speak again, and the pattern is not confusion. It is a bell that resounds across the seas. While the world mocks, irony grows, and many prefer comfort to truth. One of them, awaken from sleep, shake off the dust, return to the fear of the Lord, which is the beginning of wisdom, fast from cynicism, confess what needs to be confessed, restore the sacred in your home, allow the word to be proclaimed aloud and the rosary to guide the steps of your day once more. My beloved children, listen with attentive hearts and awakened souls. I, your mother, approach you not to sow fear, but to kindle the light of conscience and faith. Many signs are perceived by sensitive hearts, and among them I speak to you of the 3 days of darkness, not as blind punishment, but as a time of inner trial, a moment in which humanity, those of us who are young, will be invited to look within ourselves and recognize how far we have strayed from the light. These days of darkness should not be understood merely as an absence of external light, but as a profound call to the vigilance of the soul. There will be confusion, restlessness, and silence in hearts that have closed themselves to God. Therefore I tell you, do not fear. Fear is born when love weakens, and where there is true love, darkness does not prevail. Have faith, my children. Faith is the lamp that remains lit when everything seems to collapse. It is faith that will sustain you when human certainties fail. Do not trust only in the strength of the world, for it is fragile and fleeting. Trust in the divine grace that comes from Jesus Christ, my beloved Son, He who is the light that never goes out. Seek this grace with sincerity of heart. Draw near to Jesus not only with words, but with actions. With daily conversion, with forgiveness, with renunciation of hatred, violence, and indifference. Purify your homes with love, inner silence, and trust in God. Where there is humility, darkness finds no dwelling place. My children, strengthen yourselves spiritually now, while there is still time. Do not postpone the change of life. Do not harden your hearts. Difficult days reveal what was built on the rock and what was erected on the sand. Whoever is united with Jesus will remain standing. Remember, I am with you. As a mother, I do not abandon any of my children. Hold my hand in faith and let yourselves be led to the light of Christ. Even when everything seems dark, God's promise remains alive. After every night, dawn arrives for those who trust. I do not come to confuse your souls, but to awaken them, for many walk distracted while the time of decision approaches. I reveal and warn you about the 3 days of darkness as a sign of mercy, not as a sentence. Before man is corrected, he is warned. Before the night grows darker, God offers countless opportunities for return. These days will not only be an external event, but above all a spiritual test, a mirror in which each soul will see what it has secretly cultivated. Darkness grows when humanity rejects the truth, when it normalizes sin, when it abandons prayer, when it turns away from love and transforms selfishness into a rule of life. Many homes have lost peace because they have ceased to place God at the center. Many hearts are weary because they have tried to live without divine grace. That is why I call you now with maternal insistence. Return while there is still time. During these days of darkness, only the light that comes from Jesus Christ will remain firm. Everything that is human, superficial, and built without God will prove fragile. It will not be power, nor money, nor isolated science that will sustain the soul, but living faith, that which is born from a humble heart obedient to the divine will. Have faith, my children. Faith is not merely believing, it is trusting even when one does not understand. It is remaining standing when everything around seems to crumble. It is choosing good when evil seems easier. It is keeping your heart pure in a world that has become accustomed to the corruption of the soul. Seek the divine grace of Jesus Christ every day. This grace transforms, strengthens, heals, and protects. It teaches you to discern, not to fall into deception, not to be led by fear or lies. Those who live in grace do not despair, for they know that God never abandons those who are faithful to Him. Prepare your hearts, not with panic, but with true conversion. Turn away from that which separates you from God. Abandon habits that wound the soul, words that spread hatred, attitudes that divide families. Rebuild your homes upon love, respect, patience, and the presence of God. A home consecrated to light will not be overcome by darkness. I ask you, my children, watch over your thoughts, for it is in them that evil begins to act. Watch over your words, for they can wound or save. Watch over your choices, for each choice opens a door, either to the light or to the shadow. Nothing is neutral in the time in which you live. Do not be deceived by false discourses that promise happiness without God. They lead to emptiness, confusion, and the loss of hope. True peace is born from union with Jesus Christ, from the acceptance of his truth, and from the daily effort to live according to his teachings. Always remember, I walk with you. Even when you do not perceive me, I am interceding, protecting, and guiding those who allow themselves to be guided. My maternal love does not fail, but respects the freedom of each child. Therefore, I speak to you now with firmness and tenderness. Choose the light. After the darkness, God will grant light to those who remain faithful. After the trial, restoration will come. But only those who now strengthen their faith, purify their hearts, and unite themselves to the divine grace of Jesus Christ will remain firm. Remain vigilant, confident, and persevering. Do not lose hope. The time is serious, but God's love is greater. And where this love is welcomed, no darkness has the power to remain. My beloved children, do not give up. I ask you with the heart of a mother who never abandons her children, even when they stray or weaken. Do not allow the weariness of the soul, the pains of life, or the trials of the world to extinguish the flame of hope that God has placed within you. When everything seems too heavy, that is precisely when you must remain firm. Seek me, my children, not as a last resort, but as a safe haven. I approach every home that calls upon me sincerely, and where I am welcomed, there I bring my maternal protection. My presence does not bring fear, it brings peace. My protection does not oppress, it strengthens. Where I enter, evil loses power, for the light of God comes to dwell in that place. Do not give up when the struggles repeat themselves. Many battles are permitted to strengthen your faith, not to destroy you. The enemy tries to convince you that it's no longer worth fighting, that you've already failed too many times, that there's no way out. Don't listen to those voices. They don't come from God. God never abandons a heart that desires to remain in the light. When you seek me, I cover your homes with my care. I protect your families, your children, your paths. I drive away that which tries to divide, confuse, and destroy. But it is necessary that you give me space, that you open the door of your hearts, that you do not resist the grace that God wishes to pour out upon you. My children, the world has become hard, cold, and confused. Many homes have lost dialogue, love, and faith. That is why I call you. Allow my protection to enter your homes, not only with words, but with actions of love, forgiveness, respect, and trust in God. A home that seeks the protection of heaven does not remain in darkness. Don't give up on yourselves. Don't give up on your family. Don't give up on faith. Even if you have fallen, rise up. Even if you've made mistakes, start again. My love, my maternal instinct does not accuse you. It guides you back to the right path. I am with you in moments of silence, in hidden tears, in nights when your heart seems to find no rest. Hold my hand in faith and let me lead you closer to Jesus, for it is in him that true liberation and true protection against all evil reside. Persist, my children. Seek me with confidence. Where I am welcomed, evil does not remain. Where faith is maintained, hope is reborn. And where God is placed at the center, no opposing force can prevail. Do not give up, even if the weight of life seems greater than your strength. I see every hidden tear, every silent battle, every night when the heart cries out without finding words. None of this is indifferent to me. As a mother, I am attentive to your every step, even when you think you are alone. Do not give up, my children, because giving up is the door through which evil tries to enter. When discouragement sets in, it weakens faith, confuses thoughts, and hardens the heart. It is at this moment that I ask you, lift up your eyes, seek me, call upon me. When you seek me sincerely, I draw near and make your home a safe refuge. Seek me so that my protection may enter your homes. There are homes that have become battlefields because they have ceased to be places of prayer, dialogue, and love. Cold silence, harsh words, and lack of forgiveness open breaches through which evil infiltrates. I wish to close these breaches, but I need to be embraced. My protection is not imposed. It is received by those who trust. When you allow me into your home, I cover every corner with maternal care. I calm troubled hearts, strengthen the weak, and illuminate difficult decisions. I drive away that which brings division, confusion, and anguish. For where there is light, darkness finds no space to remain. My children, do not give up fighting for good. The world tries to normalize that which wounds the soul, tries to convince you that error is the way, that faith is weakness. Do not believe these lies. Faith is your greatest strength, and perseverance is proof that God still acts within you. Seek me in moments of pain, but also in moments of joy. Do not seek me only when everything crumbles, but invite me to walk with you every day. Thus, when the storm arrives, your house will already be founded upon the rock. I wish to deliver you from evil, but remember, evil is not only what is seen. It hides in pride, unforgiveness, indifference, and hardness of heart. Allow me to help you cleanse not only the exterior but also the interior of your souls. A purified heart becomes a dwelling place for God. Do not give up on your children, your parents, your families. Even those who have strayed, who have lost their way, or who have hardened their hearts continue to be loved by God. I intercede for them, but I need you not to lose hope. Hope is the seed of silent miracles. My children, when weariness tells you to stop, remember that I am walking with you. When fear tries to paralyze you, remember that my protection surrounds you. When evil tries to frighten you, remember that the light of God is stronger than any darkness. Seek me with confidence, not with fear. My maternal love does not condemn, does not humiliate, does not abandon. It corrects with tenderness, guides with patience, and protects with firmness. Where I am welcomed, peace begins to flourish, even amidst difficulties. Do not give up, my children. Even if everything seems slow, even if the answers do not come in the time you desire, God is acting. Every act of faith, every effort to remain in goodness, every choice for the light is building an invisible protection around you. I am with you today and will continue to be with you. Seek me, welcome me, trust me. Allow my protection to enter your home, your life, and your heart. Thus, you will remain firm, guarded, and free from evil, sustained by the grace and love that come from God. My beloved children, listen carefully to what I tell you, for I speak as a mother who watches over your steps and suffers to see humanity turn away from the light of God. Faced with the evil that rises and spreads throughout the world, the 3 days of darkness appear as a sign of a grave time, marked by confusion, chaos, and the spiritual ruin of many hearts that no longer want to hear the truth. These days do not appear by chance. They reflect the darkness that man himself has allowed to grow within himself. When God is rejected, when sin is accepted as normal, when prayer is abandoned and love is replaced by selfishness, the world begins to reap what it has sown. The outer darkness is merely a reflection of the inner darkness that has taken hold of so many souls. In the face of this, my children, do not despair. Despair does not come from God. Fear paralyzes, weakens, and distances the heart from trust. I ask you, remain steadfast. Pray. Prayer is the strength that sustains the soul when everything seems to crumble. It is what keeps the flame of faith burning even when the world plunges into chaos. Have faith, my children. True faith is not based on circumstances, but on total trust in God. Even when ruin seems to dominate, even when silence and darkness are present, God remains Lord of all. Nothing escapes his gaze, nothing happens without his permission, and everything can be transformed when there are hearts that trust. These days of darkness will test hearts. Many will be lost through fear, others through revolt, others through disbelief. But those who remain, those who place themselves under divine protection, will not be abandoned in prayer. God's light does not fade for those who remain faithful. Pray in your homes, even if only with simple words. Pray with your hearts, with humility, with perseverance. A home that prays becomes a refuge amidst chaos. A family that trusts in God will not be overcome by the passing darkness. My children, do not harden your hearts. This is a time of conversion, of return, of choice. It is not a time for hatred, nor for revenge, nor for judgment, but for repentance, forgiveness, and surrender. The more evil tries to spread, the more God calls his children to the light. I walk with you in these difficult times. I do not abandon you. I intercede for each of you and present your pains, fears, and supplications before God. Hold my hand in faith and let me lead you closer to Jesus, for only in him will you find protection, peace, and salvation. In the face of the evil spreading throughout the world, the 3 days of darkness emerge as a powerful sign, a time allowed to reveal what was built without God and to awaken those who can still return to the light. These days will appear bringing chaos and ruin, not only to the outer world, but especially to the hearts that have closed themselves to the truth. Many have relied solely on their own strength, turned away from God, despised faith, and abandoned the paths of love. The darkness that manifests itself is a reflection of choices made over time, choices that ignored the warnings of heaven. But listen well, my children. God does not abandon his own. Even when the world seems to crumble, even when silence and anguish take over, the Lord remains in control of everything. Darkness will have no power over those who remain firm, vigilant, and confident in divine grace. In light of this, I tell you with firmness and tenderness, pray and have faith. Prayer sustains the spirit when human strength fails. Faith keeps the heart standing when everything around tries to make it fall. Do not allow fear to dominate you, for fear paralyzes and distances the soul from God. Trust, on the contrary, strengthens and protects. These days will test hearts. Many will seek answers in despair. Others will be lost in revolt. Others will harden their souls even further. But those who choose to remain in faith, even without understanding everything, will be protected. The light of God does not fade for those who trust, even if the world plunges into darkness. Prepare yourselves inwardly, my children. This is not a time for distraction, nor for indifference. It is a time for sincere conversion, for abandoning sin, for changing your lives. Purify your thoughts, your attitudes, and your homes. Where there is humility and repentance, God's mercy manifests itself powerfully. Strengthen your families in love, respect, and unity. Many homes will be shaken because they have ceased to have God as their center. A home that lives in faith becomes a safe refuge amidst chaos. Even if everything around is confused, there will be inner peace, for God dwells where he is welcomed. My children, do not let yourselves be deceived by the false securities of this world. They crumble quickly when trials arrive. Only that which is founded on God remains. True faith does not depend on visible signs, but on total surrender, even when the eyes see no way out. I am with you in these difficult times. I walk beside you, I intercede for you, and I present every pain, every fear, and every tear to the Lord. As a mother, I do not abandon my children in the midst of the storm. Hold my hand in faith and let yourselves be led closer to Jesus Christ, who is the only light capable of overcoming all darkness. Pray and have faith, my children. Do not allow evil to steal your hope. After the night, the light shines again. After the trial, mercy overflows. Remain firm, vigilant, and confident, for those who persevere in faith will not be defeated. The last word will not belong to darkness, but to the light of God. My beloved children, have faith. I ask you with the heart of a mother who never tires of loving and hoping. Faith is the foundation that sustains life when everything seems uncertain. It is the strength that keeps the heart firm when storms rise. Do not allow discouragement, fear, or worldly worries to extinguish that precious flame that God has kindled within you. Put God first in your home, not just with words, but with actions, choices, and priorities. When God is placed at the center of the family, everything finds order, even amidst difficulties. Where God dwells, peace begins to blossom, love is strengthened, and the wounds of the soul find healing. Many homes have become fragile because God has been left aside. The world entered, bringing confusion, divisions, and unrest, and little by little faith was forgotten. That is why I call you today, return. Open the doors of your homes and your hearts to the presence of God. He does not enter to judge, but to restore. When you put God first, my maternal protection pours out upon you. I walk through your homes, cover your families, guard your children, and strengthen weary hearts. Wherever I am welcomed, I carry with me the light that comes from heaven, and I ward off everything that tries to destroy harmony and faith. Have faith, my children, even when you do not understand God's ways. True faith trusts, waits, and remains even in silence. It teaches you to surrender what you cannot control and to rest in divine care. A heart that trusts does not get lost in despair. Put God first in your daily decisions as well. Before acting, seek the light. Before speaking, seek love. Before giving up, seek faith. Thus, your steps will be guided and your choices will produce fruits of peace. I am with you. I do not abandon you in your struggles, nor in your hidden pains, nor in moments when hope seems distant. As a mother, I intercede for every home that chooses God as a priority. My protection extends over those who trust and place themselves under divine grace.